Right, so you've learned the notes of a piece, you've been working on it, and so you get to a point, you know your notes, you've got the moves charted out, and so what do you do with it now? How do you know what to do with your piece in your practice next? Now, a lot of people, what they do once they get the notes, they get the moves, is that they play it through a bunch of times, and then that constitutes practice. That is what they call practice. And so instead of doing anything else with it, then I'll just play it twice and then that'll be practice. Great. Or they say, check, I learned that piece, it's finished, and so what's the next piece? And so then they jump into new notes on our next piece. But once we learn the notes, that's when the work starts. That's when the real music making really gets underway. And so then the question is, what do you do with it? How do you know what to work on next in your piece once you've gotten the notes? And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you'd like something to play, if you'd like a piece of music to play, then I encourage you to download this book of 30 great pieces to play. They're very fun. They're fairly easy-ish, early intermediate level, beginning to early intermediate, and so they're fast to put together, but then you can make this great music with it. You can take them to higher levels. And so find the link below and get that, and it'll give you something new to practice in your practice. Great, so what do we actually do then in a piece? This assumes that you've gotten the notes, just like we've been talking about. The very first thing that you can do is just slow down and listen. This is just a great place to start, to find something specific to work on. So if you've got a piece of music that you are learning, I'm learning this one. So go slow enough that you can listen to every single note, the volume of each note, the tone quality of each note, the placement, any sort of buzz, the connection of one note to the next, and listen and see, can you get that even better? Is the melody as forward and as beautiful as it can be? How is the rhythm? All these things, any little thing, but go slow enough that you can actually hear it and that you can actually listen. So slow down, listen really clearly, and find something specific to work on, and then work on it. That's what to work on next. Whatever it is, making it better. And this is also where, as you're studying music and as you're studying with a teacher or taking a course, something that gives you new ways of hearing music and new possibilities of shaping phrases and using louds and softs and different colors of tone qualities and volumes, that's when you can apply all of this, is when you're going slow enough that you can actually work with it. All right, so that's one thing. Another thing that you can do is to video yourself and play it back. And this is wonderful for looking at your hands, looking at your body, your face, all these things that you don't have the bandwidth and the brain power to think about when you're actually playing your piece. But it's going on, right? It's going on while you're playing the piece. So what you can do then is video yourself, watch it back, be brave, be strong, and look for specific things to improve. It might be a hand angle, it might be a shift, you might be dragging your thumb on a shift when you move up and down the neck. It could be that you have too much tension in your face or your shoulder, or you're leaning. This is a big one. All of these different things you can see on video, and chances are you know them. Like if you see it and you're looking for it, you could say, oh, well, I know to fix that. And then you can work on it in your practice. And that is the next thing to work on. So then tomorrow, boom, that's what you do. Also, beyond hands, movements, bodily use, and all of this, the physical aspects, you can also listen within that recording as well. Even if it's just on your phone will take amazing video. It'll take better video than a really expensive camera could 10 years ago. So you can listen to, just like we were saying before in the slow practice, listen to your melody. Make sure that it's very clear. Can you hear the melody? Is it very obvious, if there is a melody, what the melody is? Are there these 3 dimensions of sound with the, so that there are different parts going on at different volumes? Are there very nice swells and fades going on? Is the tone quality really nice? Is there anywhere that it goes south? Is there anywhere that your tone gets really brittle? Or if you get tense and you move way back to the back of the guitar, it could be that you could move your entire hand up and the whole piece would sound more beautiful. So there's all these things that you can notice, and you know that your inner teacher knows these things, but you're not aware of them while you're playing. You can't observe while you're doing it. But if you video yourself, then you can, and you can just be your own teacher in that way. And it's a wonderful way to practice. So now let's assume that you have done both of these things. You've been doing all this good work, and so now what, right? You feel pretty confident with everything that's going on with it, with your hands and your body, with the music and everything. So now what do you do? One of the ways to get it robust and ready for performance, well, again, is to slow down. Slow practice is wonderful for performance because it breaks your muscle memory. So practicing slowly, under tempo, but with all of those beautiful things, all of your good hands, all of your good music, that's wonderful. Another direction you can go is to play it too fast. So just keep bumping it up, go faster and faster and faster. For every player on the planet, there is an upper speed to where things break. There is, for all of us, there is no player that can play to infinite speed. There is a breaking point. And so find that breaking point with your piece and then just notice what happens and where it happens. It could be that it's a memory thing, that you can't process the notes of a certain section as you can other parts of the piece. And so then working on your memory and just kind of taking more laps of that section could be really, really good for you. Or it could be that your technique breaks down at some point and there is a particular speed where your scales fall apart, or you can't shift properly and you can't land the shift with your left hand. So anything that you notice, it's another great way to find what is the next level of your playing, is to speed up and break something and then figure it out. Do it seldom, right? And whenever you do find it, really be paying attention. You could also do this in front of a camera so that you can then watch it back and see what really happened. You can slow it down and look, okay, so what actually did happen right there, which is a great way to do it. But you can find what breaks, and that's another practice technique for you. But I would go slower before I went faster. Still, it's a really good one to do eventually if you're at a very high level with your piece and the piece is fast. There you go. 3 ways that you can figure out what to practice next in your piece of music. And that was slow down and listen really well to every little detail of every single note. Every note. Every single note. Many people miss that, but I really do mean that sincerely, every single note. So listening to every note, videoing yourself is number 2, and then finding something specific to work on and then work on that. And that could be physical in your playing, in your execution, or it could be musical, which also is physical, but it could be musical and something that you're hearing in sound and you want to change the sound. It's all tied together. And then the third one is go fast and break something, and then notice what breaks and then work on that. All right, if you'd like something to play, then I encourage you to download this great little book of 30 pieces, really fun, really charismatic, and I know that you will enjoy something in there. So with that, good luck in your practice. I hope that you can bring your pieces to beautifully high levels and enjoy your practice while doing it. See you soon. Bye-bye.